Lord, I
and
shout
shout hallelujah. What shall I render to you,
O Lord?
and to you, men,
What shall I render? What shall I render? What shall I render to you, O Lord? I will praise thee, O Lord.
I shout hallelujah.
What shall I render to you, O Lord?
What shall I render?
What shall I render? What shall I render to you, O Lord? I will praise thee, O Lord. I shout hallelujah. What shall I render to you, O Lord?
What shall I render? What shall I render? What shall I render to you, O Lord? I will praise thee, O Lord. I shout hallelujah.
What shall I render to you, O Lord?
Amen. Please sit down. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, thank you for this opportunity. We give you glory, give you adoration. Holy Spirit, come and take control. Father, use my mouth as your tool. Everything we say here today, Father, do not let them count against me at the end. Father, for us to talk is for you to help to it to germinate. Father, whatever people hear from me today, let them be able to use it for the glory of the Lord. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. The title of today's lecture is Your Actions and Wealth Creation. But before we go into it, the normal hymn, Holy Spirit, we welcome you.
Holy Spirit, we welcome you. Holy Spirit, we welcome you. Move among us, be glorified as we lay aside all heavenly desires and reach out and as far. Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, we welcome you. 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 Let the breeze of your presence flow that your children here might truly know how to move in your spirit, Lord. Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, we welcome you. Holy Spirit, we welcome you. Holy Spirit, we welcome in praise. I pray. All is not that He has. Your way, Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit. We welcome you.
Please be seated. Holy Spirit, we welcome you. Now into the body of the message. In the preamble, we want to talk about how to create wealth and what we need to do about creating wealth. And I use two definitions. One, the way human beings define it. The other one, the way God defines it. The human being looks at you, abundance of valuable possessions, and they say you are wealthy. Oh, he's now riding Maserati. He's now riding a jet. He has a house in Dubai or Chelsea in London. That's how we quantify wealth. But God doesn't see things that way. God defines it as the ability to experience and enjoy everything, God's blessings, in all areas of your life. If there's still something lacking in you, then you are not yet enjoying it the way God wanted it. So you can see the difference in the two. And when you see some people saying there is no God, sometimes I don't quarrel with them. Like the message, the Bible study this one when we talk about love. The only question I always ask God, and which I think also now came to man, is at the creation, Genesis 1. You see that God had created everything before He created man. Everything God created before He created man. And now said, man, be like me and have dominion over these people. Give them names you want them to give. You look at Genesis 1:28. Genesis 1:28. Those are part of my Bible passages which I will look at. God only charged us. He said, after He created man from 27, then He said, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth, subdue, and have dominion. Those are just the four charges. Fruitful and multiply, fill the earth, subdue it, then have dominion. Have we ever achieved any of those things? I learned from science, I never did geography, but I learned land mass is only 20%, is it? And water is 80%. So the whole land mass of the world is just 20%. The rest is water, 80%. And with our population of about going to 10 billion all over the world, we can still not occupy the 20%. And God just said, look, my people that I've made in my own image, go there, be fruitful and multiply, subdue it, do whatever you want to do it, and have dominion. When you look at it, it's a bit difficult. You sit down, you ruminate, like I did. Then I look at it, my brothers, my sisters. That same people that God created after He had created everything, now said, no God. Then you look at it, some of us, not all of us, must have had a cousin, a brother, a sister, a nephew, niece here and there that maybe you help one time or the other. And what came back out of it? You have not done enough. That's human beings for you. If you can do it for God, then when somebody that you have helped comes forward and tells you, look, you have not done anything for me, just take it and move forward. That is life. Human beings, we look at the fruits of our labor, forgetting that there is need to plant before you reap. You must plant, water, do this, do that, before you come to harvest. Even after you have harvested, you still need to sell so you can get. But we don't look at it from that place. Slide 2, please. The fruits of labor. We forget about them. As we sit down here today, I don't have any problem in my life. Let me see your hands up. Me as a human being, I don't have any problem. Let me see your hands up. No hands up now. None. So that means some of us, all of us, have one issue, one problem, or the other. And God created us to do what? To solve problems. Why we are created is to come into the world, subdue it, and have dominion. That's whatever the problem is, there is a solution amongst us, amidst us. So why are we looking only at the fruit, forgetting the seed and the root that created it? So you will see straight away that there is a reason why you are created. I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer. Those ones are vocational jobs. We are talking about God-given talents that you have. Each and every one of us was created to solve a problem, at least. Fortunately or unfortunately, especially for we Africans, there was a day I sat down, I was just asking God, why did you create Africans without having a means of finding solution to problems? This is a thing that has taken me more than a year thinking about before I came out. And till today, the only answer I still got is Africans have never conquered the fear they have. The average white man on the street there is not better than you. It's not better than me, but he conquered his fears. But we are waiting. Who will bail the cat? Who will do it first? Who will do this first? Who will do that first? The average white man there doesn't do it because of money. He does it to solve problem and make name for himself. Out of situations like this, we create solutions. But why are we just copycat mechanism in the hands of the world? Why are we not allowed? Why we don't allow ourselves? Why don't we challenge ourselves to cure the fear that is in us? The little ones that try to do it, before he is able to make inroad into what he has done, my brothers, my sister of the black color will go there and copy that same thing and replicate it. Before you know it, the market is filled. And they will kill that idea and they all come back to square one. Why? I have said it several times. It's not the first time, not the second time, not the third time, not the fourth. And I'll continue to say it. Anywhere, any day, anytime, I will tell you, Life Transformation members have had opportunities at different occasions on how to come out with their ingenuity. The pastors and the pastor ministers here who are the leaders in this church, they have given us the opportunity at different fora. And fortunately or unfortunately, people outside are coming in, taking part of this thing and developing it. And what do we sit down after the thing is done? Sit down one corner and start to gossip. Talk about this, talk about that, talk about that. Can't continue. Our Pakistani brothers and sisters are doing it. They're making it. Don't let us deceive ourselves. We need to challenge ourselves and face it once and for all. Look at our continent. Dumping ground. Everything there. Look at it. In Nigeria today, I think they said there are 200 million people in Nigeria today. And we sell about $200 million of oil every day. If you look at that, if you divide it, that is averagely a Nigerian per day just earn $1. And we will now talk, it's not developing. It's not. How will it develop? How can 360 naira in Nigerian currency be enough for a single person to eat and feed per day and still go out? Because that's what it amounted to. So this brings me to the next slide. And that's where Sister Lucy came in. I said there is a bit of definition in what Sister Lucy said and what I put in here. And that's the cost of being paid on time, the cost of on results, the cost of being paid your worth. Nobody that works for anybody is paid what is worth. Can put it under any level. Nobody. Because we will bargain. If you say you want $1 million, I will give you $1 million, you can afford it. But you will do 20 million for me. That is the truth, whether you like it or not. I will buy your freedom. I will buy your time. I will buy everything that is in you with money and make you to do it. Nothing is as good as being on your own, even if it's just $20 or £20 a day. Because nothing is as easy, as cheap, as sound as your freedom. But it's at a cost. Like she said, 3 months, no money came in. But one day can take over the entire 3 or 6 months. That's the work of entrepreneurship. But if you don't conquer that fear will continue to force you until a day that you say, oh, but I don't want to go, but I must go. That's unfortunate. Our children will be better in the system because they are part of it right away. But many of us that came from that background, we have a lot to do to survive. And we are not getting younger, whether we like it or not. That's the truth. We are growing old every day. The earlier we think of something that we can do with our God-given talent, better it is. I'll go into my Bible passages now. The Bible passages I want to use, Genesis 1:28, Proverbs 23:7, 1 Samuel 17:17-58, and Philippians 4:8-13. Pastor had used Genesis 1:28 most of the time. He's even used Proverbs 23:7. But I intentionally want to use 1 Samuel 17:17-58. 1 Samuel 17:17-58. And please, I want us to read it. Time is not on my side. I want us to read through it because it's the character I want to use in this. I will quickly read through it so that we go through it. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 17-58. It's a common story that we all know. I read from KJV version. Then Jesse said to his son David, take now for your brothers an ephah of this dried grain and these 10 loaves, and run to your brothers at the camp. Verse 18. And carry these 10 cheeses to the captain of their 1,000, and see how your brothers fare, and bring back news of them. 19. Now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. So David rose early in the morning, left the sheep with the keeper, and took the things, went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the camp as the army was going out to fight and shouting for the battle. For Israel and the Philistines had drawn up in battle array army against army. Verse 23. And David left his supplies in the hand of the supply keeper, ran to the army, and came and greeted his brothers. Then as he talked with them, there was the champion, the Philistines of Gath, Goliath by name, coming up from armies of the Philistines. And he spoke according to the same words. So David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were dreadfully afraid. So the men of Israel said, have you seen this man who has come up? Surely he has come up to defy Israel. And it shall be that the man who kills him, the king will enrich with great riches. Verse 26. And will give him, the promise of the king will give him riches. The king will give him his daughter, and the king will give his family, father's house, exemption from taxes in Israel. Then 26. Then David spoke to the men who stood by him, saying, what shall be done for the man who kills this Philistine and takes away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? And the people answered him in this manner, saying, so shall it be done for the man who kills him. Now Eliab, David's oldest brother, heard when he spoke to the men. And Eliab's anger was aroused against David and said, why did you come down here? And with whom have you left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know your pride and insolence of your heart, for you have come to see the battle. I will stop there a little bit. Father gave an instruction to his son. Take this, go and give to your brothers and his colleagues at the war front. It was over the night. The boy woke up in the morning, quickly left his own chores for somebody to do on his behalf, and took them on the run to the battlefront. Not thinking about how he's going, what will happen to him on the way. He was the only one according to the story. Getting there, you will know David had his own skill. He had his own job. He had what he needs to do or not. But at that material moment, Father called on him and said, go and do this for brothers. He went. He got there. While still trying to give out maybe what he brought for them, he heard that story. And what was the response from the senior brother that first heard from him? When I read the Bible further, I think there were only 3 brothers of David that were at the war front. First thing that came to my mind was, why was it David that was sent? What about the other brothers? Why were they not sent? Maybe there might be reasons. But look at it. Look at the challenge that first of all came from brother. Who amongst us? I want us to look at it practically now. If it were to be your brother that will be sent on that errand, and you knew that your dad will say, oh, firstborn, you come and do this errand for us. If you are to be David's brother, would you have supported his father? If you are one of the brothers of David here, David is the last born, and your father now say, David, go to war front and give this to your. How many of us will support our fathers to do that? Nobody. So look at it from that perspective. Number one, David never said no. he followed the commandment of his father. Now, if you are a brother at the one front and you saw your brother coming, what would have been your reaction? You said, you send him back, 1. You protect him, 2. You can see many answers will come up. The fear would have been, the first thing is, why is he coming? What's the problem at home? Why are the others, the elderly ones, are not being sent? Why is it him of all of them? That will be the first thing that will come into your mind. Then, as a brother, though at the risk of your commissioning or whatever you are doing, you need to go to him, cuddle him, whatever it is for his age, and ask him, why? But what did the brother do? He said, no, I know you are a proud person. I know you are this, I know you are that. How many of us are falling into that trap? Look at yourself. You might not be from your blood brother. You must have helped friends, nieces, nephews. And what you had back was who sent you. You must have had that before. But what did David do? He did not cry. It was even the brother that was hallowing. He had somebody define the God of Israel. Who are you? He changed immediately. Who is that man? And the Lord. While the father thought he sent him to go and deliver the food, to me, Holy Spirit directed this. Directed him to that place to fight the war on his behalf. What do you think you have? What talent do you possess? Which one are you hiding? God has put something in you. When are you going to activate it? When? Do you need to wait for somebody? David never waited for anybody. When you read further, you will see his CV. When the king asked him, come and take this. Who are you? What are you? He said, I've killed this, I've killed that, These are references he was making. Practical references. If he says, I have PhD, I'm a professor in this, so I will not even look at him. This is not the time for professors to come and negotiate for us. We are talking about the action. He said, look, I've killed a boy, I've killed this, I've killed that. This is a practical thing. That is something inherent in him. And he's able to declare it. The Bible said further, when he eventually agreed to, when the king eventually allowed him to go, he put his armor on him. Then they said, for him to have been able to even wear that cloth, that means nothing. In stature, must have been of almost the same height with King Saul. That was why he was able to put it. But he said, look, this is not for me. He removed the garment. He said, look, I have my tools. Are you not having your tools? You're always having your tools wherever you're going. The tool, he has a sling and 5 stones. That's all the plan. Carrying. He said, oh, put this. No. And one thing that he has that Goliath never had was, look, he looked at Goliath. Who is this useless soldier from Philistines talking to my God like this? And when that one was shouting, he said, look, I come to you in the name of my God. That's one thing he had, Goliath never had. He was telling, look, it's not my battle. It's God's battle. So anytime I come here, just for, and what did he do? Just one sling. And the man was there. And not only did he kill him, he went and caught. He said, what tool? What action have you ever taken with the tools that you have? I count it every December 31. How many members of LTC, Life Transformation Church, had come forward to say, look, I've started a little business. I can give you their names off it. And I'm so happy. There has always been an increment, one way or the other. Today, Sister Lucy has added Brother Lucy into it, Brother Peter into it now, and Brother Paul into it. That's an addition to it. We are moving forward. We are moving forward. You have these, I have it. Most of our children will copy what we parents do. If you allow us to kill the intent in us, you are likely to kill the ones in them. They have God-given talents. Look at the younger ones that are members of choir now. What's their age? Look at them. How old are they? Younger ones. When old ones say, oh, we are not ready, the younger ones will get there. Life will move forward. Life is always a cycle. Do your part, move away. If you don't want yourself to be replaced by a rock, by whatever it is, you have to act your own part. That's the truth. Now, the character we are talking about. He got there, performed what he wanted to perform. After that, went back, and that job was finished. His name is there forever in the book of the Bible. How many of his brothers' names are there? And when you see the names of his brothers, are they remembered for good? No. Take a look at it, think about it. Look at it inside you. Something is inside you deposited there. That's meant for you to help to build this nation. I refer to the mind of man. The mind of man. I think that should come before. The mind of man. Slide. Yes. The mind of man is the center. The mind, your mind is the center of your personality. Whatever you think. Most of the things that we do on earth, you either see it as a vision, you either sit down, dream about it, talk with it, or thereabout. One way or the other, the thing comes into your mind. How you process it is the output you get. If you look at Proverbs 23:7, you realize wealth is created from the state of the mind. Because every one of us have a problem to be solved. I remember there was a time we were looking for people to help women do their hair. They have to travel down to London most of the time. There was a time we cannot even get African foods here. I know several times I had to travel down to London to buy African foods. There was a gap. There is still a gap today in every area. When you are having that thing in your mind, the state of the mind, the first thing is the vision. What is the vision you have? It's a big picture. Any other person might not see you, might only be you. And when you are talking to your friend there, you'll be looking at you as, is this woman not mad? Is this man not mad? What's he or she talking about? That you want to set up a swimming pool by the side of a LTC church, where there are only few houses there. That would be the thinking. But God might have given you a bigger picture of what will happen on that thing in a later future. Then you start with it. Then you must have a mission, because you are the one that saw the vision. How do I get this thing to there? Because if I put a swimming pool there, I need to bring people down there. That's part of my mission. So that will give us, the mind will now give us the rise to what action that will affect our behaviors and further determine what we see. If you don't do it, we don't get anything. I think yesterday we were talking, myself and the pastor were talking. Now we are having more churches looking for spaces to do their service. This morning they have been called down again. It's getting to a point that we don't even have space to give anybody, but they want to call. And that's the building there that we need to finish. And I told Pastor, look, even when we finish that one, we'll be struggling to get even our own time, because they will keep on coming because of what God has done and what God is doing. And that is the situation we are. They have seen us as providing a solution to some of their problems. Those of us who are here, I think that should be 2009 or no, I think 2010 when we were at Kudas Park. On the switchover night, changeover night, at 11:30 or so, they told us, look, we cannot wait until 12 o'clock for you. We have to lock up. The council staff that came to open the door said, look, we cannot get to the following day. That night, we had to close. But I think God had my prayer, had people's prayer that we will not come here next year. And by the following year, we were here. Hallelujah to his name. Those are the ways God works. He's never coming to you when you're in your comfort zone. He pushes you. Left to us, maybe if we have been told, no, you can continue with that, we might not be struggling to do what we are doing because we are enjoying it, because my salary is coming in. When you tell some people, look, you have some things you can do. No, I can't do. I must go to that work. I must go there. I must be there. My salary. But if suddenly they say, oh, no job tomorrow, I've not seen them die. No, they won't die. They will change. You live with it and you overcome it. It's a challenge. But when everything is fine, we don't see it. Until we are ready to leave our comfort zone, we won't be able to do it. I saw some Africans. They said, look, coming to England, coming to UK, it's a promised land, though. Me, I've been living here, so I know. Yeah, so it's better than where I came from, but it's not the promised land. That promised land is still up there. Because we're still lacking. The heaven God taught us, that mentioned the first Genesis, is where you lack nothing. He said, go there, just go and mend the bushes, and enjoy everything you need right there. That's the promised land he was talking about. But the man being what we are, once we are able to move away from a little hassle, and we get to another one, the higher the ladder you go up on top of, the higher the problem. Challenges. Because you need to get to where God wants us to be, not to sit down. So, my brothers, my sister, those are part of the actions we need to take. Next slide, please. What does your mindset do? It allows you to make your choices. That's the funny thing about mindset. It allows you to make your choices. You take whatever action you want. You build confidence through it. Your performance, you measure it. Satisfaction, you measure it. I remembered Sister Rachel when she wanted to start the, what do we call it, Sister Rachel? Child care. We were talking, everybody was talking there. Little by little. She went through some challenges. And the thing started growing. Before I know it, then Sister Bibiana came forward one day and said she wanted to give a testimony. What testimony? Said, do you know Sister Richard that taught me how to do this and that? Oh, Father, thank you. I glorify God on that. How many of you, my brothers, my sisters, will have an idea, a way of making money, and is ready to transfer that knowledge to another person? Let's look at ourselves. How many of us will do it? Typical African people. Oh, you'll be taking part of my customers. Oh, I won't be having that same money again. It will reduce this, it will reduce that. That is our attitude. When are we going to change? How are we better than the people at home? When people saw Christians of that time, they said these people are definitely from Christ. When you and the people at home, when you are working together, if you go home today and you are working together, what distinction will be between you and that man that resides at home? Who will see you and say you are better than him among those people? What differentiates you? I read the paper, yesterday, The amount sent into Nigeria economy by people in diaspora last year, from 2016, 2017, 2018, is more than the total amount they got from oil every year. Amount we send in your 200 pounds, 100 pounds, those are the ones that go through the normal channel, the one they can see. Minus one that we put in envelope to our friends that goes home unnoticed. We still have more than what the oil that Nigerians are fighting for. What we send them is more than what the total amount they realize from oil. So what are we talking about? So why do you see that person at home as your rival? Why are you not there to do something better? What action are you taking to make your life and those people at home who are connected directly or indirectly, what are you doing to make their lives better? Those are the actions that are needed. And I put a slide there which says, imagine with all your minds. Anything you think, imagine. Your imagination is what first comes in. Oh, I want to be a tailor. How would it be? How would the shop be? Do I want to be a mobile tailor? Do I want to be the one that has a shop? Would I need? What are the things you have to capture the image of what you want to do? What differentiates you from the other one? Let there be tailors and there be tailors. When you imagine it, then you believe it. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you. You have to believe in yourself. I can do this, I can do it better. Even when people say, oh, it's Sister Rachel, oh, Sister Kate, I love the hairdo on her hair. Who did it for you? Oh, you know it's Sister Mercy. Does she do this? It's just one of the few she does. It's on somebody's head, but it's doing the marketing for her because of the good thing you can find on her head. It's not good. I'm sure she too will not come out with it. Then, when you have seen it, now achieve that thing. You must first of all imagine it, believe it, then you struggle, strive to achieve it. If you don't, you will not believe it. Next slide, please. This I want you to take home, please. The topic, the subtitle there is the invisible that creates the visible. Nobody knows you. Nobody sees you until you become somebody. All behind the scenes are the invisible. There was a day I had some friends from London that came and said, wow, we need to eat local food. My wife was at work. There's no way you guys will eat local food unless you go to the place. They just started, though. I've not been there myself. They call it the Flavor Bee. And we moved. We drove about, I think about 5 of us. We got there. Lo and behold, I saw my brother, I saw my sister, they were there, and I saw many Africans there doing what we believe cannot be. My friends, they were happy, they enjoyed themselves, they had come back. They always ask me, is that place still there? Whenever they want to come, because they were able to, at least at that moment, got something they wanted. That is the kind of thing we are talking about. How do we sustain it? How do we sustain this? How do we sustain that? It's, first of all, when you achieve it, then you talk about sustainability. That area will be covered by the next week topic, the management of wealth. I'm just talking about how you can create it, the action you need to do to take to be able to create. And like I said, Pastor said it, and that was the one I copied. The reality of seasons. That will always be night and day. Whether we like it or not, whether we are alive or we are not alive, God has decreed it. It's there. There will always be night. There will always be summer and winter, the cold and the heat, seed time and the harvest. So the capacity to innovate, to produce, and develop is what makes it God's. You look at it, God innovated and developed us to be what we are. Why are we not using the same? Why do we want the talents to die? What actions do you have? In Matthew, I don't want to go into the Bible readings, all of them have their passages, Matthew 6, 19, 21. Our actions will involve sowing and using our God's talent. You need to sow first. Whatever you have is what you sow. When we talk about sowing, some people think, oh, it's money, money. No, time is more than money. So your time is precious. Most of the things, when you hear new technologies coming out, helping humanity, health-wise, do you know how many years they have been in the laboratory trying to solve a problem? It takes years. Doing research, getting statistics here. By the time you get it solved, maybe you try it on an animal first, if it is health. If you succeed on animal, that's when you can start thinking of bringing it to a man or a human being. That's the way researches are done. Any business you want to do, please take your time to do a business plan. That is what either makes your business or kill your business. That is the. If it takes you spending more time and money, please get it right at the beginning. When they tell you, look, this is a good business, but how many people can afford it? Your product or your service. Oh, this is the minimum amount that will make you survive. All those will be taken into consideration. They'll do a 3-year projection for you or a 5-year projection. This is where you are likely to be. These are the problems you are likely to face. These are the challenges on the way. All this will be itemized in the business plan. And it is that plan that you normally take to the bank to ask for loan or grant. The people that will read it in bank are professionals. So they will study it to know, oh, this is possible, this is likely not possible. They will question you. So please, when you have the idea, take your time. Get somebody that you think you know who will not steal your idea. Please, underline. Who will not steal your idea? That's what is called, you need to sign a document with. It's not allowed to divulge your information. We will sign it. If you find that product outside and you see him, you will be charged to court. So please, any business you are thinking of, do a business plan. Just look at it, where you want it to start from, where you want to be in the next 2 years, where you want to be in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Every 3 years, if it's a 3-year business plan, at the end of that 3 year, you must do another one. That's the way it works. It's a 5-year, at the end of that 5 year, do another one. That will give you a picture of what you likely get in the next 5 years. That's, please, whatever it's going to cost you, do that. I'm conscious of the time, and I'm trying to gather all those together. Then there is what we call the Baron solution to building a success. The Baron solution, the 5. Yeah. There are 2 of them I use. Baron is one of the leading entrepreneurs when it started. He gave a method of somebody who had been in debt, and because of that debt, we want to start a business. He gave a pattern, the action plan, to build a wealth from that. And you see, he uses step 1, pay down your debt. Step 2, begin building a cash reserve. Step 3, develop a long-term investment portfolio. Step 4, create a cash flow. And step 5, start your own business. But in this case, I'm reversing it in this lecture. Where step 5 there, see it as your step 1. For this model, start by creating your own business. When you create your business, whatever the business, the first thing that should come into your mind is your cash flow. Your cash is your business. If you are spending 10 pounds a day, make sure you are realizing 11 pounds a day. So at least you are having a pound gain. So you are never going to be short in cash. Then you can develop a long-term investment portfolio. When you start making money, don't just squander the money. Invest in other areas. Multiple incomes. When you see Bill Gates and they say, oh, he's making this money, or Dangote making this money. No, it's not from the same source. They take money from here, drop it here, drop it there, drop it there. At the time they are sleeping, their money continue to work for them. No amount is small. There is this thing that is going on about now, Coinbase. You know about it? Yes. I read it one day and they said, oh, it's the latest thing using digital money. I put in £100 to do it. My first 9 months, I lost everything. Just yesterday, before when I put it in, I think it was a former president of America, the last one. He said, Obama. Obama wrote something about it, and I just got interested. And the Virgin man also said the same thing. Okay, I can take a risk with £100. I put the £100 there, and they started. The first few months, it was fantastic, but I didn't withdraw it. I just said, before the £100 gallop up to 200, later £300, I just left it. The next time I went into it, I saw the thing had plummeted to about, I think, 80 something pounds. Down. Later to £30. What if I have lost? If £100 drop on the road, I mean, would I die because I no? I left it and continued. Yesterday I just looked at it, it's gone back to £70. Such, and they said is the next thing, is the next place we are going. You can take a risk with anything. Look at it. Doesn't cost you anything other than that. Just look at it. You are not doing anything. You're just putting money down. They are trading with it. You can withdraw your money anytime if you need it. Such are the things we do. You have to take a risk. In life, whether you like it or not, we take risk. So, do one and continue. That's the way you survive in this world. So, I reverse the order, and that's, we will see that after development, I talk about building a cash reserve. Then you can pay off debt you are owing and still positive. And I'm coming to conclusion. There was what President of Russia, there's a diagram, please. We're waiting for that diagram. I will use that one to round up. Okay? Yes. That's President Putin. And he said one thing. Please, take note of it. What the man said. said, I'll read from here, and you can read it. He said, when an African becomes rich, his bank accounts are in Switzerland. He travels to France for medical treatment. That's African man. He invests in Germany. He buys in Dubai. He consumes Chinese. He prays in Rome or Mecca. His children study in Europe. He travels to Canada, US, Europe for tourism. But when he dies, he'll be buried in his native country of Africa. Africa is just a cemetery for Africans. How could a cemetery be developed? And that's till today. Where do we have the most intelligent people in Africa? Who can tell me? Intelligent people, the intelligent brains, where do they have them in Africa? Cemetery. They die with what they have. They die without using the God-given talent. Very good. Where are you supposed to help? What part has God created you? So, what solution is in your hand? Why were you created? These are questions that only you and God will answer. God, at the end of the day, God will ask you. We all know the parable of talents. God will ask you, I gave you 1 talent, I gave you 2, I gave you 5. What did you do with yours? I keep on telling people who work, yes, it's good you work for 35 years, take your pension. But my dear, my brothers, my sister, if, for example, you go back to the country where you are from, can you go and work NHS there? Can you go to your country now and start to work again? Can't. You need to establish something. Can you establish something that you don't know about? You have to start from somewhere. What shall I render? What shall I render? What shall I render to you, O Lord?
I will praise thee, O Lord. I shout hallelujah. What shall I render to you, O Lord? What shall I render? What shall I render? What shall I render to you, O Lord? I will praise thee, O Lord. I shout hallelujah. What shall I render to you, O Lord? What shall I render? What shall I render? What shall I render to you, O Lord? I will praise thee, O Lord. I shout hallelujah. What shall I render to you, O Lord?
So before we close, there was a when we were given the information before the Father's Day program, the 14, 15, 16, it's not for men alone. It's for everybody, including your friends. Friday is a film show, Saturday BBQ and games, Sunday normal church service. Please invite friends. Men are ready. We are waiting for you. We want to show you we are men of purpose. Hallelujah. You're rounding up now. You are Alpha and Omega.
We worship you, our God. You are worthy to be praised. You are the Alpha. You are Alpha and Omega. We worship you, our God. You are worthy to be praised. our God. You are worthy to be